how I moved from the trenches to Europe. It's been a long journey. I would like you to stay put because I believe that this session is going to be a blessing to you. It's going to really help you. It's timely, especially for those who have been having difficulty in moving abroad, in moving to Europe. A lot of people have been following me, and I'm so happy. Today we have over 37,000 subscribers. That is 37 plus subscribers, 37,000 plus. And I believe that this will go a long way in helping you to demystify some mysteries or conundrums that have been on your mind all this while, or the things, the difficulties you've been going through. Okay, so I want to use my own story to inspire you, to help you, so that those things that took me many years will just take you a few weeks or few days. Okay, so briefly, I'm going to tell you about the sketch of this live session, and I would like you to stay put and make sure you're not interrupted. Don't go anywhere. So first of all, I'm going to tell you about my humble beginning, how I started off. Why am I saying this? I'm not saying this to tell you where I came from, literally, but I just want to use this to inspire you. I want my story to inspire you, because one of the ways of learning is using our own experiences, and I think it is very effective when somebody have gone through it. It is not a theory, it is practical. You understand? It is a live story that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So it is very, very important that you stay till the end of this video, okay? I'm not going to waste your time. Okay, so the first is I'm going to tell you about my humble beginning. I'm going to tell you about the first country I went to from Nigeria. Then I'm going to tell you about my transition to the second country, then to this country where I am now. Then also I'm going to bring out some lessons or things I would like to tell you, like advice I would like to give you, advice that I've been able to learn or acquire for almost 15 years of my journey abroad. You understand? I've been living abroad for almost 15 years now. So I'm going to give you some advices, okay? And of course, I would like you to ask your questions, and I would like to answer your questions because it's so important. Now, this is not about you paying for booking a session, okay? I offer that service, but in this one, just ask your questions. So now I want you to brainstorm your questions, okay? If possible, write it down so that when it comes to that time, you can put it in the comment section. Very, very important, okay? All right, so before we continue, if this is your first time, if you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Promise Breno, and we are changing lives. We drop videos about opportunities one can use to move abroad through work, through studies, or through any other legit way. So ensure that you stay glued to this channel by subscribing and clicking on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we drop content, okay? And don't forget to click on the like button to support this video. And don't forget to share this video so that other people too can be inspired, and so that other people too can move abroad. My aim is for you to move abroad this year, okay? I don't want you to take long, the way it took long for me to move. I would like you to move abroad this year. So let me talk about my humble beginning. So I come from a village, as a lot of you came from a village. So I come from a village somewhere in the eastern part of Nigeria. I was born in the trenches, in one of the trenches, like in a town somewhere in Nasarawa State in Nigeria. So I speak Hausa, I speak Igbo. I came from a family, I won't say poor family, or it's just like let me say middle class. That's the kind of family I came from, not wretched, you understand? Anybody who knew my background and where I come from that time wouldn't predict that I would reach the level I am now. Like how I've been able to travel to several countries, the things I've achieved. The people that knew me or knew our family wouldn't have imagined that this is possible. So it doesn't matter your background, you understand? So I'm making this video because there are a lot of people who are not well to do financially, and they are thinking, is this abroad for me? I want you to know that it's for everybody. It doesn't matter where you come from. So that is why paying attention to this story that I'm telling you would really benefit you, because if I can do it, you can do it as well. You understand? You can do it. Everybody can do it. So it's so important that you pay attention to what I'm saying. So now let's fast forward to when I moved out of Nigeria, the first country I went to. Okay, so the first country I went to is North Cyprus. So I know that Cyprus is in the Bible. We have Cyprus in the Bible for those who are Christians, but I never knew that there's something like North Cyprus and South Cyprus. It was in this journey that I was able to know. Okay, so I found myself in a JAM lesson. I finished my high school, and that was many years ago. I was trying to get into the university, which was hard for me. I wanted to study medicine and surgery. I went to a JAM lesson, and from there, the teacher started talking about abroad, about opportunities, and I picked interest in it. So I started meeting him one-on-one. You know, I started making efforts to learn more about it. At that time, he talked about Austria, and he talked about the fact that one can study in Austria for free. I was like, wow, somebody studying in Europe for free? Wow, I was really pumped up to go to that kind of country, and hence I was pushing forward to getting more information from him. That time I paid him, he asked me to pay an agency fee. That was, I think 2009 or 2010 or thereabout. I paid 30,000 naira. You understand? So some people now, when they meet an agent and the agent is telling them to pay, like for example, my one-on-one consultation, if you change it to naira, it's around 30,000, 40,000 naira. Some people are saying that it's too much. But that time, long time ago, I paid that kind of amount. And to be honest, I am so glad that I paid that amount. I'm so glad, I'm so happy that I paid that amount. Okay, well, in this session, I'm not going to charge you anything, so it's free. Okay, it's free of charge. So prepare your questions, okay? Okay, so I met the agent and we started talking about moving abroad. And while I was meeting him, I was also going to the cyber cafe almost every day to make my research, because I was also trying to find opportunities myself. So I picked interest in these things, and I was able to find out a lot of things. One day he told me that I've gotten admission, because I've already given him my document. He told me I got admission in one country, North Cyprus. I was like, which country is North Cyprus? But anyway, he said Cyprus, and I know I'm familiar with the name Cyprus, but I didn't know that there's something like North Cyprus. So then I learned that he wasn't even the person who got the admission for me. So he's like a middleman to another agent, you understand? So, and the other agent, the new agent, I also had to pay for the new agent again, the main person. I remember that I had to sleep in the agent's house in order to go for visa interview in Abuja, because Turkish embassy was processing visa for North Cyprus. North Cyprus, you can also call it the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. So it was the Turkish territory. So we have two Cyprus. The other one is the European part, which is the Greek territory, and the other one is the North Cyprus, which is the Turkish territory. Okay, so we went for the interview, and the agent was telling us, because I also met one guy again who also came for the interview. Okay, and it was the same agent who was processing it for us. Agent was telling us that if we go to Cyprus, that we can walk. He told us a couple of things, and some of them were not correct or exactly correct. When you go to Cyprus, North Cyprus, it's not easy. You know, to even find a job is not easy. And to find a job that can help you to offset your bill, to pay your house rent, to go to school is not easy. And a lot of you that are watching me now that wants to study abroad, the reason why you want to move abroad is that you want to move to a country whereby you will be able to work, right? I know that you're saving money to move abroad. I know people will even sell their cars, sell their land, sell their properties, so that they'll be able to raise money and move. And the reason why the families are doing this is because they want, when this person goes there, they want this person to be able to pay for their school fees, right? Better for themselves, and also send money back home, because this is the average Nigerian mentality, average African person mentality. I don't know about how the Asians do, like people from India and other countries, but this is the average mindset of someone from Nigeria, you understand? And that was the mindset I went to Cyprus with. And when I went there, it was not the same. The first house rent I paid was in pounds, and my school fees then was in euros. The school fees was 2,800 euros in nearest university. At the point I couldn't afford going forward, because I went there, I didn't find a job easily or on time. So I went to school through that time, through the semester, and during the summer, I remember how I got my first job, because I started learning Turkish, and I had to cram how to say I'm looking for a job. Benish Çalışmak istiyorum. So I had to cram it on my head. I had to go to one village called Lapta. So I was able to get a job there. Thank God I was able to get a job. But the job is nothing to write home about in terms of you using it to offset your bills and pay your rent or pay your school fees. The job, I only did it for 1 month. It was so stressful. I was not feeling well. I had to go to the hospital. Anyway, fast forward, I had to drop out of school for some time, because I couldn't continue paying my school fees again. I remember I even started regretting about moving to Cyprus. One day I told my mom I want to go back to Nigeria. My mom had to encourage me. She asked me, where is your faith? It encouraged me. I became stronger, and I kept going, I kept pushing. There was one guy I met in school who told me, he's also a Nigerian, who told me about the fact that Turkey is cheaper. It's cheaper to study in Turkey. So he even told me about somebody's experience who went to Turkey, and he gave me an example of the tuition fee. And I started putting my interest in Turkey. I started making research about schools in Turkey. And this research I made, that was what helped me today to be able to process school admission for people, because I do school admission for those who want to study abroad, because I was able to do it for myself. It worked out. I did it for my friends. It worked out. And I said, let me just start doing it for other people. Like, someone advised me to start doing it, and I started doing it. Also, this was one of the things that inspired me to start making travel videos, because of my experiences, you understand. So I had to drop out of school for some time to work, save up some money, go back to school, study part-time while working at the same time. And as God will have it, I got an admission to study in Turkey. But the admission was not kind of like a full admission. Like, I was on the reserve list. So they have principal list in Turkey, they have reserve list. So I was on the reserve list. They call them Yedek. So I was on the Yedek list. So I went to the embassy to process my visa, and the embassy said I should tell my school to accept me or send me documents that they've accepted me in the principal list first before they would give me visa. But it was not possible, you understand? It's not possible, because it's a school admission, and Turkey are very strict when it comes to that, especially the government schools. They are strict, you understand? And so anyway, the embassy said that they are going to give me transit visa. Now this was the Turkish embassy in North Cyprus. They said they were going to give me transit visa, and that transit visa is like 5 days, like 1 week. So I will use that transit visa and go to Turkey and register. And if I'm able to register, I have to go back to North Cyprus and they'll give me student visa. You understand? So I agreed, I applied, and they gave me the visa. But when I went back home and I checked the visa, I saw that the time in which I wanted to travel to Turkey, which was the registration period, it doesn't tally the time on the visa. You understand? Which means the visa is just a waste. So I went back to the embassy so that they can rectify the issue. And the lady I met told me, she checked my file and said that I was supposed to apply for a student visa. Why did I apply for this kind of visa? Anyway, she asked me if I would like them to give me a student visa. I said yes. Then she told me to make another payment, visa fee. I think that time visa fee was $60. I can't remember, but I think around $60. So I went and changed my money to dollars. I paid. I think she told me to come back the next day. I came back and I got my visa, and I was so happy. You understand? I was so happy. I was so excited. And the day I left Cyprus, North Cyprus, was like I was leaving prison. I'm telling you, it was like I left prison. I was so happy. You understand? Before I went to Turkey, I already had plans on what to do when I go to Turkey. I was planning that when I go to Turkey, I was going to apply for a Turkish government scholarship. There's a Turkish government support scholarship that time. I think it's still possible now to get it in Turkey. So there's this Turkish government support scholarship, and also I also had planned to apply for Erasmus. Erasmus is a program whereby you can go and study in another campus, in another university, in another country. Okay, and these countries have an agreement together. So far that country you're going to have an agreement with the EU. Okay, under that framework, under that Erasmus framework, you can go there. Okay, that means you're not stopping your studies, you're going there to continue your studies for a maximum of 2 semesters. You understand? And after that, you come back to your parent university and they will accept the things you did there. You understand? So of course there has to be a learning agreement between the two schools and also you. So three parties involved. So learning agreement have to be signed by you, by your parents' university, and by the university in that place, especially Europe. Especially this is a European thing, but I got to learn that even Africa, some countries in Africa, even participate in Erasmus, because when I came for Erasmus in Poland, I met one guy from an African country, and he told me that he came for Erasmus from an African country. I was like, wow. Anyway, the thing is that what I wanted to take from this story now, up to now, is that I wanted to take the processes, the steps, how I was able to strategize. Now, I'm not making this video to boast, you understand, to boast in my ability that I can do this or I can do that. No, I'm making this video to inspire you so that you understand the steps I took. Those things that took me years, because I've been living abroad for almost 15 years now. Those things that took me 10 years, 12 years to achieve, you can achieve it within few days, or you can even start today. You understand? So I would like you to note some points, because I'm going to be telling you, I'm going to be sharing some lessons or some advice to you, what can help you to move abroad fast, even this year. You understand? So that you can start implementing them. This is why I'm sharing this story with you. Not to boast, not to praise myself that I'm a champion, no, but to help you. You understand? If any other video doesn't inspire you, if those things you're seeing on the school website, because they are all theory, this is practical. This is my life experience I'm sharing with you. You understand? Anyway, I went to Turkey, and by God's grace, where I stayed, the accommodation I stayed, I didn't pay for a year or more than a year, which was nice. God helped me, I didn't pay. It was free accommodation for me, you know. Then also, I applied for food scholarship, because in my school then, they have what they call food scholarship. So I applied for it and I got it, and I was eating in school for free. I was eating lunch for free in school. You know, I mean, God was so gracious to me in Turkey. It was so great, you understand? I really liked it, I loved it. By that time I was already speaking their language, at least I could communicate, and it was easy for me to navigate things. It was easy for me to travel within Turkey. It was easy for me to go to the bank, to do things, to go to the market, to communicate, you know. God helped me. In North Cyprus, in Turkey, from Turkey, of course, I started thinking about the way forward, but I wanted to finish my bachelor's degree first, you understand? So fast forward, I applied for Erasmus, and I got Erasmus, which is to go to Europe, to come to Poland.